as we've seen all over this country, people declaring themselves to be soft targets by saying we are a gun-free zone. As well as there's many stores and venues and that just have stickers up that say you can't come here. And then there's laws state by state that say you can't carry a gun in this type of establishment or that type of establishment. Or this particular area for whatever reason. And then there's federal laws on where you can carry your gun. And I strongly believe, if I don't want you to carry a gun in my house, I believe I have that right to tell you you can't carry a gun in my house. My house, my rules. So, I believe that there's some controversy in what I'm about to talk about, regardless of where you stand on the Second Amendment. And that's a new bill that's been introduced in Tennessee that essentially says that people who have an enhanced gun permit, some sort of a permit that you go through more training, a more extensive background check, that if you have this enhanced carry permit, that you can actually carry your gun wherever you want, whether it says you can't or not. So if you enter a gun-free zone, that would not apply to you. If you are entering somebody's establishment and they have a sign that says you can't carry a gun in this establishment, that doesn't apply to you. So, again, that's why I kind of introduced it that, I have mixed emotions on this because I believe there's certain areas that the government says you can't carry, which maybe the person that runs that facility is fine with it, but the government says you can't. Those things I think should be bypassed. You should be able to carry there, whether it be an enhanced permit or otherwise. I do disagree that if an organization, if I own this building and I own this company and I say you can't carry a gun in here, you should reserve that right. Again, my house, my rules. So I have mixed emotions on this one, but it is fascinating. I do find it interesting that at least some legislature somewhere out in this country is saying, well, wait a second, you can't just say we can't carry a gun in here because you decided so, especially when it's not your house. And many examples of that would be like churches, things like that, where the government says, well, you can't do that, but yet the pastor may be totally fine with it. So there you go. I have mixed emotions on this one. Be very curious what you all think. Love to open that dialogue up. If there's an establishment that says, nobody's allowed to carry in here, should somebody with an enhanced permit be able to just walk on in? Because in the end, a cop can. If I have a store that says no guns in this store, I guarantee a cop's coming in with his guns. So, again, I got mixed emotions on it. I really don't know if I agree with it or not, to be quite honest. That's why I'd really love to open up the dialogue. So any thoughts you might have on this or insight, definitely put it below. Again, my big question mark on this is, where are your rights being infringed? If somebody stops you at the door and says, you can't carry a gun here because I own this house, are your rights being infringed, or would his if you go ahead and go on in because of some law that says that you have an enhanced permit? So there you go. Love to open up the dialogue. Put it below, man. I can't wait to read these. But by far the most important part of this channel, we take prayer requests. So please don't ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, love guns.